So, do you guys remember when I did 23andMe? And I did that, and I barely mentioned it. I did that in January. 23andMe is a scam. Future City, no it isn't. No it fucking isn't, bucko.
Hey, is that Future City 10?
Yep.
The man with the shittiest opinion in every stream he's ever been in?
It is real. Because I was like, yeah, why not? What the fuck? Why not? Why not? And, yeah, no, it's real. And I'm going to tell you how real it is, my man. Because I was very nervous because, as you know, I am, how do I put this? I am a donor-conceived person. My father is a turkey baster, as you know.
Big old box of cum.
Big old, no. Anyway, and I wanted to know some like medical stuff and blah, blah, blah. So I spit in this little tube and it's actually really easy and I just mailed it and that was that. And then I got the news. I had Pat read it to me because I was so nervous. So I just handed it to him and I was like, you just tell me. You just tell me what's going on. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And then he's looking at it and his eyes bugged out of his head. And he's like, you are going to want to sit down. And he was like, looking at me like this. And I was like, okay. And I sat down. You know how they have those, what's the word? Those pie charts, right? And when you get your DNA and you find out like, oh, you're 6% this and you're 4% and there's 12 and 20%, right? Mine was a lot more whole than I expected. And also something I did not expect at all. And I just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Cried a little and laughed. And I'm actually, and I know you guys are gonna be mad at me, I'm not ready to discuss it yet because I'm still kind of like dealing with it. But I will. I haven't talked about this with anyone yet. So, and I haven't even really literally talked about it with anyone except for Pat. So like,
I'm Pat.
You have to understand that me talking about it out loud is really difficult. I did find out that I don't carry anything bad. No variants. That's good. It knew certain things about me that were kind of cute. And then I looked up my family tree. But actually, I didn't look at it. Pat did. He told me my pie chart. And we were like, oh my God. He's like, and that's not all. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, you have a half brother. And I was like, I know that. You know, and my brother that I grew up with. And he's like, nope. And he turned it around and he gave me the phone and I looked at it and I have a brother. Oh, don't worry, guys. Oh, there's more. There's a lot more. So strap in. So I'm like, oh boy.
And it wasn't me.
And it's not Pat, by the way. Whew. Don't worry. The pie chart made sure. We're good. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. So I'm like breathing heavy. I'm freaking out. There's a lot going on. I'm like totally 23andMe can tell you this stuff if the person also did it. So we have so when you do 23andMe, the reason it said half brother is because our DNA matched by 25%. And there's only 2 people related to you that have about 25% relation. And that is either an aunt or an uncle or a half sibling. And this person was born 2 months after I was. So this was not my uncle. This was not my aunt. I'm not an aunt or an uncle. That is my half brother. And it says like half brother. So I was like, whoa. So I'm like breathing heavy and Pat's like, you okay? And I'm like, oh Jesus, like this was something I've been wanting for years. It's something I have been wanting for a really long time, is to meet someone from that side. Because once again, I don't know, I didn't know who like my father was. I have no idea. My mom went to the bank, you know what I mean? Like, so I was like, whew. So I wrote him and I said, hey, you know, turns out, how's it going? Turns out, can you believe it? I'm your sister. Surprise! Like, you're my brother. How's it going? And he wrote me. And at first he was like, I don't know. Like, he was a little bit skeptical. Because he had done it months prior. He was just skeptical. And I didn't blame him. So we just talked a little bit, but not really, not too much. And I was like, okay, you know, no problem. And I was like, you know, so a couple weeks passed, and I'm packing for the move. You know, and he was very nice, by the way, very, very nice. Just I don't know, a little skeptical, understandably so. And then about 3 days before the move, I got a message from a woman. And it said, hi, I'm your sister.
Say what?
And I started screaming upstairs because I'm packing boxes. It's 3 days before the move. And Pat's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I have a sister. And he's like, what? I'm like, ah. And I show him the email. And she's like, hey, how's it going? Turns out I'm your sister. And I was like, oh my God, there's more of us. Holy shit. And so I'm like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. So I'm like freaking the fuck out. I'm so excited because I'm like, I'm a sister. Oh my God, you're my sister. I have a sister? There's more of me? Oh my God. They're everywhere. So I'm like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, oh my God.
Man, you can get a lot out of that big box of cum.
Oh boy. Whew. I'm like, hello, how are you? You know, it was a very awkward conversation at first because, like, how do you do this? What a weird situation. How do you do this? Like, hello, I'm your long lost sister. This is from a Barbie, like, it's like a Barbie movie, you know, where it's like, hello, I'm your long lost sister. It's me. You know, like, that doesn't happen, but it happened. So what did she want to sell you, right? No, because I saw a picture of her, and that bitch and I are fucking sisters, dude. She's beautiful, obviously, super hot and very smart. No, but seriously, she looks, she looks like me. I look at her and I see my fucking face and I'm like, what the fuck? So she's 2 months younger than me, and brother is 3 months younger than me. So I'm the big sister. I'm like losing my mind. So we're talking and she's like sassy and funny and cool, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I'm like so freaked out. And she's like, can I have you know, here's a picture of me, and like, whoa, and like, here's a picture of me, and she's like, oh, and we're talking, and she's like, oh my God, of course you have red hair. I'm like, why? And she's like, and she showed me a picture of her daughter who has like a red tint in her hair, and I'm like, oh my God, it's my niece. Oh my God. Oh my God, we chatted for 3 days straight, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I am moving. I want you to know I want to continue a conversation with you, but I'm gonna be driving for like days and days and days, but I want you to know, like, this is really important to me. This is so cool. And she's like, yeah, totally, like, I feel the same, like, we'll catch up, don't worry, right? Because she had a lot of questions and I had a lot of questions myself. Then as we're driving, or I'm driving, and it's April Fool's Day. I'm laying in the back of the RV, and I'm like all snuggly, toasty, warm, and I'm about to go sleep. Ding, ding. And I'm like, oh God, what now? And I look, and it's from my brother, who said, hey, I'm ready to talk. And I'm like, let's talk. And I was like, okay, yeah. And we're talking. Oh my God, he's the best. He's really cool, really sweet. Shows me a picture. We're so related. So much of my mom's side, everybody looks like they're related, and I don't look like I'm related to anyone. Even the half brother I grew up with looks like he belongs. I never looked like I belonged, but I look at their faces and I see myself, and and it's really fucking cool. And they're really cool, and they have amazing jobs that I will not disclose. But if your mom, you know how your mom is always like, a mom is always like, oh, I want my child to have, the top 10 list of jobs a mother wants their child to have. That's the jobs they have. And I'm like, holy shit, you guys are so fucking cool and smart. And they're like, yeah, what do you do? And I'm like, let's talk about something else. Let's just talk about something else. Whew. And then, of course, they reveal I already Googled you. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. So that's a lot, right? And it's a lot as I'm driving. Right before I'm driving, I'm dealing with a lot. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna do a little thinking about it. And I looked. Okay, you know that scene from It's Always Sunny where you're doing that, like he's like Pepe Sylvia, and he's like at the wall, and there's all these red lines and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? With all that. I did that, and I am 95% sure that I have found my biological father.
There's more.
I think I figured it out. However, I'm like 95%, like I saw the face and I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. But I have decided that is, it's just not the right thing to be like, hey, that's weird. It's not right. So I've decided not to do anything with that. But I guess the curiosity of it all just kind of overwhelmed me, and I just wanted to see the face. It's a lot. It was a lot.